Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Merry Christmas. Christmas was just a few days ago as I'm filming this, and I'm really excited because one of my gifts was the RUGER LCP MAX. My husband Mac got me this, and I'm so excited to be bringing you a review of it today. Just holding this and looking at it, it reminds me a lot of my first gun that I ever bought, my first carry gun, which was a RUGER LC9S. I liked that gun, but there were things about it that weren't perfect, and I actually did a video here where I talk about what I didn't like about it and why I switched to the Smith & Wesson Shield, which is my current carry gun. And I'll show you just looking at these. My Shield is a 9mm and this is a 380. And for carry guns, I would not go lower than a 380 in caliber. But you can just see the size difference here. The RUGER's in the front and the Shield is in the back. The Shield is just quite a bit bigger. And I wouldn't say that concealing it is difficult. I've been carrying this gun for years and I love it. But look how much smaller the Max is. We're gonna take it to the range this morning. I'm really excited to try it out and see how it shoots. And I'm not saying I'm gonna get rid of the Shield or stop carrying it, but this might become my secondary carry gun for when I'm wearing something that might be a little more difficult to conceal in. And depending on how it does, maybe I will carry it more than the Shield, we'll see. So before we go, I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about this gun. It's called the RUGER LCP MAX. It's fairly new. The rear sight has a step in it, which I like. Rather than having a sloped sight like the Shield here, you can see that's kind of like a slope. The LCP MAX has a step in it, so it goes straight up, so you can catch it on your belt or on your holster if you want to do one-handed operation with your gun. One of the big selling points for this gun is the capacity when compared to the size of the gun. So I'm going to show you here my Shield Plus magazine. This is a 10-round magazine, and then this is the RUGER MAX magazine. Look how much smaller the Max is compared to the Shield Plus. Same number of rounds. It's a smaller caliber, but you can carry the same number of rounds. And people ask, what's the best caliber for concealed carry? I think that the best caliber for concealed carry is what you can shoot best. If you're hitting your target in effective areas with a 380 or a 9, that's more effective than if you're missing your target with a 40 or a 45 or something like that. I would not go lower than a 380, but if you can hit what you're aiming at, a 380 is totally fine with the right carry ammunition. You can see how much smaller the RUGER MAX magazine is. So these are both 10 rounds. So you can carry 10 rounds of 380 in the RUGER MAX. I'll put 10 rounds in my Shield Plus, or a 10-round magazine. These are both empty. So you have the same number of rounds in two very different sized guns. You can see how much longer the Shield Plus is, how much more the grip sticks out. So if I was carrying it, the grip is the hardest part to conceal because it sticks out the side. So if I put these in my holster, this is my Can concealment belly band. If I put it in the holster, that's the Shield Plus. And let's just put this in the other side just so we can do a size comparison side by side. So now I have the RUGER LCP MAX here and the Shield Plus here. You can see the dramatic size difference when it comes to concealment. I can conceal either one or both under this shirt just fine because it's got enough room there. But if you're wearing something like a dress that's a little more form-fitting and you're carrying a thigh holster, this might be more comfortable and easier to carry than this. I'm not saying I'm getting rid of the Shield Plus, so I'm not going to carry it. I love this gun, I love shooting it, I am a huge Shield fan. But this might be a nice secondary option for certain times and certain outfits and certain carry situations. So this is the grip without the pinky extension. My pinky is kind of falling off just a little bit. And then this is with the pinky extension, so my pinky's not falling off. So you do have the option of a pinky extension on your magazine. They do have 12-round magazines for those of you that live in free states and are allowed to have 12-round magazines. So you can carry 10+1 or 12+1 in this gun. You can have 13 rounds in this little gun, so that's pretty cool. It also has a reversible mag release. So right now my mag release is on the right side because I'm a righty, so I can drop my magazine like that. But if I was a lefty, you can actually put it on the other side. And also you saw how fast that magazine popped out. It just pops right out. I really like that in a gun as well. One thing I really like about the slide is that it has these bump outs here. It's not totally flat. So if you put your hand along the slide, at the end, you find these ridges here. And those just make it easier for you to pull the slide back. It gives your hand something to grab onto. But something I've noticed is that sometimes when you pull the slide back on an empty magazine, it doesn't lock back the way it should. So on my Shield, if I pull the slide back, it locks on an empty magazine. When I do the same thing with the LCP MAX, it doesn't always lock back. I've discovered that you have to really pull it back, which isn't a problem, it's just something to be aware of. I do like how easily the slide stop works though. The slide stop on my Shield is almost impossible for me to press down. I can't do it. But the one on the RUGER is much easier. Another thing I've noticed is because of the placement of the slide stop, it's a little difficult for me to press it up while pulling the slide to the rear. Not impossible, but I have to use like the knuckle of my thumb because of where it is. On the Shield Plus, it's right at the end of where my thumb is. So if I had to push it up, it's a little easier just because I push up like that. But on the RUGER LCP MAX, it's way further back, so I have to use my knuckle. Maybe I could do it like that. It's just a little different. Not impossible, but something new that I need to learn about this gun. Okay, so I've loaded my Shield. I'm gonna carry this to the range. I don't want to start carrying my new gun until I've tested it out properly and multiple times, and I know that it works and that it's gonna be reliable if I need it. So for now, we'll stick with Sally 2. And now we're gonna hit the range and see how this little guy shoots. I'm really excited to try it out. Before we head to the range, I just wanted to remind you guys that my online course, the Armed and Confident Academy, is almost done. I'm really excited to release it to you guys. So if you want to be on the wait list for that course, it's gonna be a course you do at your own time, in your own home, or wherever you like to work off your computer. Please make sure to check the link below and join the wait list for my course so that you can be notified when it's launched. And also please make sure to subscribe if you enjoy my content. Okay, let's go to the range. Okay, we're here at the range. It's a pretty chilly day. I think you can see my breath. I'm just gonna shoot some paper just to get a feel for the gun. This is my first time shooting the LCP MAX, so I'm excited to see how it feels. So let's see how this goes. This came with the gun to help you load the magazines, and it works okay, as you guys just saw, but it doesn't work as well as the Stavroula that I usually use. I'll link that video up here so you guys can see what I like to use if you have trouble loading your magazines. I'm gonna try both magazines, but I'm gonna do the flat one first, and then I'll use the one with the pinky extension. I'm shooting from the 5-yard line. All right. Okay, let's see how I did. My first shot went higher than I wanted. Oh, that was my first shot. And then these were the rest. Okay, initial thoughts. The trigger's gonna take some getting used to, but it's not uncomfortable. And I felt like my pinky was slipping off the bottom. So let's try the other magazine with the pinky extension. Second magazine. I was shooting at the head. I got one to the right. That felt better. My pinky was not slipping off the bottom, so I definitely prefer shooting with the pinky extension.
All right, first shot's for me. I'm gonna do it the same order she did it. Same distance. Let's see how it goes.
Perfect shots. Good job, babe.
So what I'll say is it definitely shoots a little bit better with that pinky extension, but that pinky extension's not enough.
His hands are much bigger than mine.
You're right, the trigger is a little bit rough, but I hope that smooths out. But I think if you shoot it slow and you take your time, I think you can be pretty accurate with it.
All right, so for our wedding, I got Mac a wedding gun as a gift. It's a Colt Detective Special. So he's gonna shoot that now for the first time. Isn't it pretty? All right, so what'd you think of your wedding gift?
Well, it's one thing to have the most beautiful wife in the world, but it's another thing when she buys you a Detective Special, which I really like as a collector's item, but I always shoot all my collector's guns too, because if you can't shoot it,
what's the point?
I don't know about that. So this will be first shots out of this. Let's go see. I've got to find my revolver grip again.
I know.
So far, so good.
Good shots. It works. All right, we're back in the office now. It got a little cold, so I made him leave the range. My hands stopped working. But we're gonna do a little debrief and give you our final thoughts on the LCP MAX. What do you think?
I've run into this problem many times in my shooting career, where a new gun comes out and on paper it's fantastic and a lot of people really like it. The SIG P365 is a perfect example of what I'm about to say. So the gun seems really solid. I love how small and light it is, and light is a big thing. I mean, if you're not carrying a gun all the time, when you start having that weight on you, it irritates. When you're carrying 12, 16 hours a day, there's a lot going on there. And the other thing is when you're going to put it in different locations. If you're carrying it around your belt, not a big deal, but as soon as you go with a pocket carry or an ankle carry, then you're going to notice the weight right away. So as far as a pocket gun, it is a fantastic firearm for that.
Or a thigh gun.
Or a thigh gun, yeah. I'm 6'5", I'm about 240 pounds, and my hands don't love little tiny guns. So I don't know where to put them. I don't know quite how to grab them.
Hold it and show what it's like how much your hand hangs off.
So there's a lot.
And
what
even
gun?
when you grip it, your finger goes almost past.
There's a lot of meat
right?
here. So I got these two hands on, and they come over and they almost come over too far.
Yeah.
And then this whole area is off. And then you can see my index finger is as big as the gun. So when I put this hand in now, I come here, normally my thumb goes straight forward, so I can't shoot like that because I'll shoot the tip of my thumb off or I'll burn it. So now,
you gotta figure out a different spot.
Right, and then for my finger to get in there, it has to kind of bend a little bit unnaturally to get into that trigger area. Let me just show you real quick that it's empty and that we're good to go, because I know a lot of people get upset about that on the YouTubes. So if I try to get my grip and I come around, my thumb's in the way, so now my thumb has to come down here, and again there's not much of here going on, so it's hard for me to get a hold on it and to shoot it well. We got 12 round mags. They were in the mailbox when we got home, so that I think that's gonna make a better. I mean, it's still kind of, I got most of my, I'd say 3/4, 60%, 70% of my pinky on there. We're good there. I'll still have to figure out this thumb a little bit, but I think that's going to make the gun shoot a little bit better for me. It's a hammer fired weapon. It's not a striker fired, and it has a different feel to the trigger. When you pull it back, you get to that wall. It doesn't break, kind of like it gets to this wall, and then it has a secondary wall. See those two differences? So you take up a slack and you hit this wall. Then you start shooting because now your sights are on target and you want to shoot. So now you come back and you hit this wall. And then you're like, okay, hold on. There's got to be something else to this. And then you keep on pressing, and then it breaks there. It's not a problem, I would say, if this is your gun. Like, this is the gun you choose to carry. You'll figure that out. Like, if you shoot it, that won't be a problem. It's brand new for us. So it's like a 2-stage trigger, kind of like. So we have that. It's very small. The recoil was not bad. I personally, when I go to a small gun, I go to the Glock 42. And that gun is just barely big enough for me to get a good 2-hand grip on it and it's small enough for me to do most things that I need as far as pocket carry and ankle carry or wherever else I need to carry a gun. This gun, as of right now, feels a little too small for me, but I'm not done playing with it. I think it has a lot of potential. I love that it's a 10+1 or a 12+1. That's a lot more. I carry my Glock with an 8-round mag, so I carry an 8+1, and then I carry a 10-round backup. So this gun has more capability as far as more rounds.
I'll show you a clip here of, I was inserting the magazine, and the slide was forward like this, and the first thing I would say is that the magazine, you really need to hit it hard to get it up there. If you have hands that are my size, maybe you didn't experience that.
No, I think you also have to take into account that this gun has now been fired like 60 times. Yeah. It was fired 0 times when you were, or maybe 10 times when you started having, and I could feel the difference in the magazines just in that 60 rounds. So I have a lot of confidence that the magazines will break in as well as the gun, but getting that full 10-round mag to seat did take a little bit of effort.
Yes.
You had to give it a good shot.
And besides that, in the clip I'm going to show you here, when I inserted the magazine and I went to rack the slide, it wouldn't move. And do you want to explain what happened there as I show the clip?
Sure. So, all right. So I used to carry a Smith & Wesson M&P 45 on duty, and the magazines on that are extraordinarily tight. You load that 10th round in, and you might blow a blood vessel behind your eyeball out because it's very difficult to load that 10th round. So I would never carry 10+1 because I didn't want all that pressure. You know, when you fully load a magazine, the bullets are sitting right here. And when you insert it into the weapon, that pressure is actually on the bottom of your slide. You can see the bottom of the slide. You can see that little silver part right there. So the top bullet is pushing against that. And that creates a lot of friction. So when you have a full new magazine, it's got all your rounds in it, and now you want to pull that slide to the rear, not only are you fighting the recoil spring, you're also fighting the pressure of that 10th round, in this case, pushing all the way up, and it's very tight, and it's pushing on the bottom of the slide, and it makes it a lot harder to operate. And in my opinion, it can screw up your reliability. So that's why I never carried 10+1 when I carried that. Now that I have a 15-shot 9mm on duty, that 15th round I can push it down. So I do carry 15+1 with that gun, but it's different, you know, different mags, different guns. This one, she inserted the mag all the way and she couldn't get the slide to come to the rear. Not to mention, there's not a lot of meat to grab onto here. I mean,
I did mention this earlier. It sticks out right here, so it makes it easier to pull the slide back. But even so, I couldn't do it.
It's helpful, but when a little gun, you know, there's a lot of spring tension. I mean, this gun is not a 380 EZ. Like, no, if you have trouble with the slide, or you have trouble loading mags, stick with the 380 EZ by Smith & Wesson. This is not your gun. Mags are difficult to load. The slide is difficult to manipulate on account of how small it is and how powerful and how strong that recoil spring is. What we just did is she just locked the slide to the rear, inserted her mag, so now there's no pressure. Slide stop and went forward, and then you can shoot. So if you have that problem in the beginning or ever, just lock your slide to the rear, insert the mag, send your slide forward. It'll strip off that first round, and then there won't be all that pressure on that slide. You'll be good to go. So I have hopes for this gun. I think for Stav, I think she's going to learn to like this gun. I think that it's hard to argue with the size, the weight, and the amount of rounds it has. I don't know if I'm going to achieve the success you're going to achieve with this gun. I think that my body's going to get in the way.
I think that the more I practice with it, the better I'll get with it. And the biggest thing for me is that with its size, it would make it easier for me to carry it in certain things that I might not be able to carry the shield in. I like that I can carry 10 rounds in something that's this small. So as I get used to it and become better at shooting this gun specifically, I'll probably carry it more. I don't think I'm going to replace the shield and have this be my carry gun all the time. But it's nice to have this as an option because I don't want to not carry a gun just because the shield might be a little too big for whatever I'm wearing that day.
I'm going to make a prediction that after she gets about 500 rounds through this gun, she's going to carry it more often than she carries her shield. We'll see. Okay. See if I'm right or wrong.
Thank you very much. I love my Christmas gift.
Oh, good.
I'm excited to train with it more and get better with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've tried this gun, please let us know in the comments what you think of it, or if you're interested in it, let us know. And we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye.